am I the a-hole for going off on my husband and his mom for taking/keeping my used pregnancy test? I, 27 female, found out I was pregnant very recently. My husband, male 34, and his family are beyond happy and excited. From what I've heard, my husband was married 2 times before, but couldn't have kids for 10 years. This is a huge deal for his family because his mom will be a first-time grandma with his baby. They threw a celebration dinner for us, and his mom and I were talking about the baby. She told me about how she already started making memories and started having keepsakes of her grandbaby. I felt a bit confused and asked if my husband bought something for the baby and gave it to her. She said no, but he did bring her my used pregnancy test and gave it to her to store as a memory of the news of her grandbaby's existence. I was floored. I looked at my husband like, "Did you do that?" And he nodded while smiling. Not gonna lie, I felt creeped out, disgusted, and very uncomfortable. After the initial shock, I just went off on both of them, calling what they did creepy and disgusting and highly violating. My husband argued that it was not a huge deal. He just grabbed the test once I got rid of it, put it in a plastic bag, and gifted it to his mom as a keepsake. I told him it made me feel violated and creeped out because that test had my literal pee on it. His mom then said something about taking care of the smell, and I lashed out even more and demanded they get rid of it, but they kept arguing, calling me controlling. Brother-in-law asked me to calm down, but I decided to just grab stuff and go home. My husband started arguing about how this was all just an overreaction and said that I ruined his and his family's joy by how I behaved after finding out about the pregnancy test. He said for him and his mom, it's all about the baby, but I somehow made this whole thing about me and hurt their feelings in the process. But that was my literal pee on that test, and I just couldn't help but flip out even if it ruined their joy for the news. Did I overreact? I don't know. I personally wouldn't think that it's that disgusting and creepy. I would think it's maybe a little bit weird because I'd be like, but that's a thing that they peed on. But at the same time, it is this indicator of good news, like a pregnancy test, a positive pregnancy test. It's a big deal. It's this exciting thing. It is like the beginning of a journey in some ways for people. And I guess I could understand some people wanting to hang on to it. I don't think I ever would. But I don't know. I also don't want kids, so my opinion might not mean that much in this situation. But I don't know. I can kind of see both sides. I think really what it comes down to is the husband should have asked because you threw it in the garbage and he should have gone to you and been like, you know, that's really meaningful to me and, you know, that we could scrapbook it or something. And then you might have been able to go, I'm not comfortable with that. It has my pee on it. And maybe you could have come to an understanding. So I don't know that necessarily. I don't think what you did was an overreaction because he didn't ask first. But then again, maybe in his mind, it wasn't a big deal at all. You know, it's a little bit of pee. What's some pee between family? Huh? So I don't know. I think people just need to communicate more. My boyfriend, 29 male, didn't find a problem being friends with cheaters. My military boyfriend told me that his colleagues are paying for escorts. Highly possible that the girls are underage as they're in Southeast Asia while they were overseas, and it's a men thing / bro code and military thing to be supportive or like be cool with that. I'm appalled by his reasoning that what happens overseas stays overseas and he would joke about it. To me, it's nothing funny. He said that maybe they're not getting enough time at home, that's why they did what they did, so we shouldn't judge, though he did say that it's effed up, but he still will be close to them as they are genuine and nice people. Some of them even have children, and some of their wives are pregnant. One guy proposed to his girlfriend after visiting the brothels, and it's not the first time, and he told me that he'll attend their wedding, because that's their relationship and not for him to judge. I cannot help but feel disgusted by him being so chill about it. He said that he didn't cheat and would never do it even if he's single, but he did get curious and stepped into the brothel to look. I'll never know if he did or not, but I don't think I'll be trusting him as he's cool with whatever those scummy men did and still thinks that they are good people. I don't know any of the wives, so there's nothing I can do, and it pees me off. Yeah, I honestly think that there are kind of lines, and I don't know how hard set they are, but like, you can be friends with someone and find out like, oh, what, you do this thing? I don't agree with that, but I don't know. I guess, I can't judge too harshly, but I feel like once you get into like cheaters and cheating and stuff like that, like, it just kind of shows you how untrustworthy a person is. Like, if I had a friend and I found out that they were just regularly cheating on a spouse or just, okay with cheating and stuff, it's like, God, what are they lying to me about? Like, how do I trust this person? I don't know. Just don't cheat, people. It's not that, oh, they've been away from home for so long. The poor guys, their wieners are going to fall off. Like, no, oh my God, I can't deal with this stuff. So yeah, no, I think I'm with the poster here where I would think a bit less of someone if that was their attitude towards this stuff. It's like, oh, my friends are doing it, but it's not for me to judge. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. Like, if they get married, are you just going to be like, I don't care at all about the person that they're marrying? Because if I did, I might inform them of infidelity. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Folks, let me know in the comments what you think, but it rubs me the wrong way. Today, I effed up by sneaking into my boyfriend's house. Probably had the most embarrassing and pathetic moment of my life so far yesterday, but after giving it a day, it's a bit funny, so enjoy my misery. Me and my boyfriend, both 16, have been dating for a couple months. The problem is that his parents are super strict, so he hasn't told them about us dating as they wouldn't approve of it. Regardless, we've still been hanging out together a lot in public and such, but yesterday his parents were gone for a while, so we decided we could go to his house without them knowing. So we were there for hours until eventually his parents came home at around 5 p.m. and we kinda panicked, but instead of trying to sneak out while they were here, I was gonna sneak out later when they went to sleep. So a few hours pass and they still don't know I'm there, but then I get a strong urge to pee. The problem was that the bathroom was downstairs, meaning I would 100% get seen if I went there. So I just held it until about an hour later when I couldn't hold it anymore. I told my boyfriend and we tried to figure out how I could pee, but no good opportunity came, and I'm nearly in tears as I'm about to pee myself. Then my boyfriend told me I could just pee in a bottle in the room. I tried to explain that wouldn't work, but there wasn't any choice. So in probably the most embarrassing moment of my life, I sat there trying to pee in a bottle while crying next to my boyfriend tried to help me tell me it was okay. After finishing, the next few hours were filled with embarrassment and shame until eventually I got the opportunity to leave. He texted me the next morning, but I still haven't replied because I just have no idea what to say after that. I mean, what are you supposed to say after something like that? Too long didn't read, went to my boyfriend's house when they were out. They came back and I had to wait before I could leave and had to pee in a bottle. Oh, you sweet summer child. If that's going to be the most embarrassing thing that ever happens in your life, count yourself lucky. Oh, what a little thing that is in the grand scheme of embarrassments you're going to face in life. Oh, how you are going to do stuff that will gnaw at you every night before you go to sleep for years. Cherish peeing in a bottle next to your boyfriend. I mean, honestly, not to diminish how this person felt. Their feelings are absolutely valid. But I gotta tell you, I've known plenty of people in their lives. I've known myself in my life where something like that would not even register to them or even me as embarrassing. It would just be like, oh, can't believe I had to do that. It was kind of gross. Got pee on my hands. What? Like... I mean, unless you're, it's a pregnancy test, then we're very unhappy. That's different. That is definitely different. But no, there's so many worse things to worry about in life. Don't sweat it. You're gonna pee in a lot of things. Boss tried to sleep with my fiance. This was several years ago. So my boss, an extreme type A personality, found out I was seeing a young lady at another one of our offices. It was a long-distance relationship. He was the type who liked to control everything and mess with people for fun. He was also married to another employee, but he was very unfaithful. And he had a hobby, photography. He liked to take pictures of himself and his conquest in the act. Then he would show the pics around the production floor and brag about it. Well, on his next trip to this other office, he tried to get my girlfriend to sleep with him, but she spurned him. He made up some lies and got her fired. It took a long time, but I was patient. I knew he kept the photos in his office, but could not risk keeping them at home where his wife might stumble upon them. One Saturday, I was working overtime and the cleaning lady came through. They unlocked his office. I came in acting like I was taking dimensions on some drawings. The lady just asked me to close the door when I was finished. She left and went down towards accounting. That's when I went through his desk. Sure enough, in the back of one of the drawers, I found a stack of photos 4 inches tall. I took them all. Then I waited until he went on another trip. When he did, I went out for lunch. I had a dozen pics of him in the act with 4 different women, all showing his face. The women all had darker red hair, and his wife was a blonde. I drove to the town he lived in, to the closest post office to his house, and mailed the pics to his wife with no return address. She divorced him, and her lawyer took him to the cleaners. My girlfriend is now my wife, and we aren't mad anymore. You know, there is one part of the story that upsets me, and it's the fact that nowhere in here did it mention that he got fired somehow through your scheme, which I'm guessing means that he kept his job. And boy, would I have loved to hear that he also lost his job due to your meddling. But you did the best you could, and you know, at least he got took to the cleaners by the lawyers, and wife divorced him, which is good. She does not deserve to get cheated on by that scumbag, and that scumbag deserves to lose everything because he's a scumbag. So, yeah, I would say that is some pretty clever and devious planning. Also, why are cheaters so dumb sometimes? You're keeping pictures of your conquests in your desk, it's dumb enough that you're cheating. You have someone that loves you, be with them, but you also have to be extra dumb. It's like you can't get enough intercourse with strange people, and you can't get enough of being an idiot. Today, I effed up by having my arm around my girlfriend. So, I got invited to my girlfriend's grandma's house for a family get-together, and when we were in her grandma's living room talking, I had my hand around my girlfriend's shoulder. I was being mindful of my hand placement, and I wasn't inappropriately touching her. The entire time, no one looked at me weirdly or even said anything. Towards the end, my girlfriend was leaving and I proceeded to leave too. When I grabbed my stuff, I saw my girlfriend standing near the door and went to go tell her goodbye. And I saw a glimpse of her phone and saw her mom texted her and had my name in the message. I looked at my girlfriend and she seemed rather annoyed, so I asked what's wrong, and her parents are upset that my hands were around her. Again, I didn't touch anything bad, and I was paying attention to my hand placement. I still don't know what's going to happen, but it's annoying that I can't even give my girlfriend a little attention around her parents. Too long didn't read. My girlfriend's parents got mad at me for putting my arm around her shoulder. Okay, I know that, especially like if you're around family with a significant other and you're like teenage romance and stuff, some teenagers are like tangled in with each other and like kissing and stuff a lot in front of family. And that's like, okay, let's keep the public displays of affection kind of tampered down a little bit. Like, no one else wants to see that. You're teenagers, your hormones are flaring or whatever. Like, I get that. I even had that leveled against me when I was a teenager once. And after I was told that, it was like, yeah, well, you know what? Sure. And I wasn't even doing anything that bad. But this, an arm around someone's shoulder, like, that's nothing. Oh my God. Where were you? Where are her parents at? Were you at like an Amish village, or are they Puritans? Did they have buckles on their hats? Like, what is going on that's bad? I know friends who will have like an arm around each other. Like, calm down, folks. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.